When Kay had carried out the pail with the dirty water, fetched fresh water, and was beginning to turn out the classroom, a boy of about 12 stepped out from his desk, touched Kay's hand, and said something which was quite lost in the general uproar. Then suddenly every sound ceased, and Kay turned round. The thing he had been fearing all morning had come. In the door stood the teacher. In each hand, the little man held an assistant by the scruff of the neck. He had caught them, it seemed, while they were fetching wood, for in a mighty voice he began to shout, pausing after every word, "Who has dared to break into the woodshed? Where is the villain, so that I may annihilate him?" Then Frida got up from the floor, which she was trying to clean near the feet of the lady teacher, looked across at Kay as if she were trying to gather strength from him, and said, a little of her old superciliousness in her glance and bearing, "I did it, Mr. Teacher. I couldn't think of any other way. If the classrooms were to be heated in time, the woodshed had to be open. I didn't dare to ask you for the key in the middle of the night. My fiancé was at the Herrenhof. It was possible that he might stay there all night, so I had to decide for myself. If I have done wrongly, forgive my inexperience. I've been scolded enough already by my fiancé after he saw what happened. Yes, he even forbade me to light the fires early, because he thought that you had shown by locking the woodshed that you didn't want them to be put on before you came yourself. So, it is his fault that the fires are not on, but mine, that the shed has been broken into." "Who broke open the door?" said the teacher, turning to the assistants, who were still vainly struggling to escape from his grip. "The gentleman," they both replied, and, so that there might be no doubt, pointed at Kay. Frida laughed, and her laughter seemed to be more conclusive than her words, and she began to wring out into the pail the rag with which she had been scrubbing the floor, as if the episode had been closed with her declaration, and the evidence of the assistants were merely a belated jest. Only when she was at work on her knees again did she add, "Our assistants are mere children who, in spite of their age, should still be at their desks in school. Last evening I really did break open the door myself with the axe. It was quite easy. I didn't need the assistants to help me. They would only have been a nuisance. But when my fiancé arrived later in the night and went out to see the damage and, if possible, put it right, the assistants ran out after him, likely because they were afraid to stay here by themselves, and saw my fiancé working at the broken door. And that's why they say now, but they're only children." True, the assistants kept on shaking their heads during Frida's story, pointed again at Kay and did their best by means of dumb show to deflect from her story. But as they did not succeed, they submitted at last, took Frida's words as a command, and on being questioned anew by the teacher, made no reply. So, said the teacher, you've been lying, or at least you've been groundlessly accusing the janitor. They still remained silent, but their trembling and their apprehensive glances seemed to indicate guilt. Then I'll give you a sound thrashing straight away, he said, and he sent one of the children into the next room for his cane. Then as he was raising it, Frida cried, "The assistants have told the truth," flung her scrubbing cloth in despair into the pail so that the water splashed up on every side and ran behind the parallel bars, where she remained concealed. "A lying crew," remarked the lady teacher, who had just finished bandaging the paw, and she took the beast into her lap, for which it was almost too big. "So, it was the janitor," said the teacher, pushing the assistants away and turning to Kay, who had been listening all the time, leaning on the handle of his broom. "This fine janitor who out of cowardice allows other people to be falsely accused of his own villainies." "Well?" said Kay, who had not missed the fact that Frida's intervention had appeased the first uncontrollable fury of the teacher. "If the assistants had gotten a little taste of the rod, I shouldn't have been sorry. If they get off 10 times when they should be justly punished, they can well afford to pay for it by being punished unjustly for once. But besides that, it would have been very welcome to me if a direct quarrel between me and you and Mr. Teacher could have been avoided. Perhaps you would have liked it as well yourself too. But seeing that Frida has sacrificed me to the assistants now—" Here Kay paused, and in the silence, Frida's sobs could be heard behind the screen. "Of course, a clean breast must be made of the whole business." "Scandalous," said the lady teacher. "I am entirely of your opinion, Fraulein Gieser," said the teacher. "You, janitor, are of course dismissed from your post for those scandalous things. Your further punishment I reserve meantime, but now clear yourself and your belongings out of this house at once. It will be a genuine relief to us, and the teaching will manage to begin at last. Now be quick about it." "I shan't move a foot from here," said Kay. "You're my superior, but not the person who engaged me for this post. It was the superintendent who did that, and I'll only accept notice from him. And he certainly never gave me this post so that I and my dependents should freeze here. But, as you told me yourself, to keep me from doing anything thoughtless or desperate. To dismiss me suddenly now would therefore be absolutely against his intentions. Till I hear the contrary from his own mouth, I refuse to believe it. Besides, it may possibly be greatly to your own advantage too, if I don't accept your notice, given so hastily. So you don't accept it? Asked the teacher. Kay shook his head. Think it over carefully, said the teacher. Your decisions aren't always the best. You should reflect, for instance, on yesterday afternoon when you refused to be examined. Why do you bring that up now? Asked Kay. Because it's my whim, replied the teacher. And now, I repeat, for the last time, get out.